Hi, I'm here with Guru Vishwas. Do I say your name right?
Correct. Yeah. Vishwas.
And you're representing so many projects. Let's grow DAO. And what other projects are you representing?
RegenBuild.
And RegenBuild. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Guru is joining Coherence as a co-steward, joining the team making Coherence 2025 happen. So, yeah, thank you for accepting my invitation to this conversation. I'm listening to hear your thoughts about coherence, to learn about your work and how it connects with what we're doing here. So, the first thing I wanted to ask you is put you on the spot right away is can you pitch or explain Coherence 2025 the way you would to a project you're inviting?
Okay. Um, yeah. Coherence is this 3-month program where we're trying to sense make what is the different projects that are in the Web3 region, AI tech space, and yeah, building some collaboration tools and next generation apps or technologies that bring people together and help us coordinate in a better way. So we're reaching out to people across the ecosystem and trying to find and understand what they're doing. So that others are also aware of the different projects in the space, and we're just trying to understand and I guess connect with the others who are doing the same thing, but maybe in their own silos, unaware of what everyone else might be up to. So yeah, this is a exciting 3 months. It's a decentralized way of doing it. We're like building a hive map, I guess, of all the amazing projects in the space.
Cool. And what kind of projects should join Coherence 2025 and why?
Um, the theme says, collab tech. And yeah, if you look at it, there's like, I think mostly like all the Web3 technologies are like somewhat collab tech in one way or the other. So yeah, it's whether in terms of socially, are you connecting people through, to collaborate on projects or like organize teams or, just connect people in a different way where there's meaningful relationships and things happening that can move the whole space forward. So yeah, I think it can come in a variety of ways. I don't want to like put them in boxes, but yeah, as long as they're working in the region space, and yeah, bringing people together and working towards like common goals. Yeah, I think they more or less like fit the criteria because it's still an emergent movement, and yeah, we still don't know all the players that are involved in this. So yeah, just connecting and seeing how we can like organically get to know each other and build connections and collaboration.
Yeah, and I think if I may add to that, because we're still figuring out our language, I've been playing with this idea of conscious collaboration. And I think you say regenerative, which is one part of it. Not everybody uses that language. I'm trying to figure out a more inclusive language. Systems change. I'm thinking about it now as conscious collaboration and wise AI. Conscious meaning that we accept that collaboration technology is not value neutral, and that if we're not intentionally aware of the purpose and what is the world we're trying to build, then we end up propagating the models which exist. right? And I think what's really interesting to me is this idea of which technology isn't value neutral, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
for example, a knife. I can stab you with it or I can make you dinner with it. It's exactly the same knife, right? The knife is pretty value neutral. I think HTTP or email, right? They are pretty neutral. But we've discovered that social networks are not neutral. And the algorithms very much shape the behaviors and the society that we get out of it. And I think a key thing that we're trying to play with and explore is, especially with AI is definitely not value neutral, and we'll see this more and more. I'm really excited about this development of the ideas around wise AI.
Mm-hmm.
Have you come across this yet?
I saw you mention about it. Yeah, but I don't have like full context of
Yeah,
why you're
there
calling it
is
wise AI.
there is the one talk there, but you're aware of the this kind of idea of the difference between intelligence and wisdom.
Um, okay, yeah, I mean, yeah, conceptually, yeah,
Me too. I am not an expert, I'm not a philosopher, but kind of playing to learn that conceptually there is a difference.
yeah.
And I think it becomes, maybe in philosophy it becomes it's theoretical, but when it comes to designing AI and design collaboration, right? Designing software that helps us become wiser, not just
Mm,
smarter, which helps us make, pro-social, regenerative decisions and create a better society. So I think this is a key part of the coherence. It's not just software, it's software where people are thinking and understand that the software impacts the world that they create. And then, I mean, I don't think any of us has the solution or the answer, but this is an invitation to have the conversation and search for the answers together. Does that
mm.
make sense?
Yeah, that's an interesting point because yeah, it ties very well into what Daniel Schmachtenberger talks about. They've written an article which says, technology is not values neutral. There is, inherent values baked into technology. So when you create a technology, there is an intent behind it, and like that unlocks a lot of things for you. So yeah, I think you gave a few examples of where it can be neutral and where it's not neutral. So it's good that we're like applying that lens into the coherence project, and yeah, consciously trying to steer or use technology in a more positive pro-social way. Yeah, so that's amazing. I think yeah, it's something that we definitely need to be cognizant about. The technologies that we create are, yeah, mostly controlled by big tech right now, and if we have to like get outside of their control, we have to, take charge as
But
communities.
I think it's not even just who controls it. It doesn't matter whether it's the Chinese Communist Party or Zuckerberg. It's what values and to what purpose do they control it. And that's why I think for me, it's not enough, right? That was the Web3. We'll get out of control, but get out of control and do what, right? What is the world that you're trying to build? Because then Web3 got out of control and it just built meme coins and faster Ponzi schemes, right? So it's not enough to get out of the control. You also need to build a new, there has to be a purpose and a value system. Uh,
Yeah.
and I think this is what we're trying to explore.
Mm.
Uh, cool. So if can you tell me a bit about the two projects that you're working on and how they connect with Coherence?
Mhm. Yeah, so RegenBuild is yeah, we're building digital commons to align and coordinate the built environment to yeah, transition it to a regenerative paradigm. And by digital commons, I mean, it can be in the form of knowledge base, it can be in the form of impact measurement methodologies, frameworks that help projects, approach regeneration in the right way, and yeah, incentivize the stakeholders that are involved in these projects to yeah, do more good and like push the boundary in terms of like what they can bring out of real estate project. And that's the whole stack of measurement, reporting, verification system that comes with it. So yeah, the idea is to empower the stakeholders to contribute more and then in turn get rewarded for it. So all the externalities that come out of the built environment, which is, it can be resource efficiency, it can be biodiversity, it can be, human happiness. So we want to measure impact in a more holistic way versus, let's say, just carbon tunnel vision, right? So yeah, there are existing centralized certification systems which are not really flexible, and they don't really push the boundary in terms of like what can be done. So there's no actual incentive for the stakeholders to go beyond what is being asked in a certification. And this is like a positive feedback loop that I'm trying to create in the industry, where yeah, you if you choose to pursue like higher goals, you should be recognized and rewarded for the effort that you're making. So yeah, that's region builds part. So I'm trying to coordinate the whole industry towards this protocol. And yeah,
So,
that's the coordination part.
okay, that's the RegenBuild, yes?
Yeah.
So are you making software? Are you creating a standard? I know at least for biodiversity, the EU is coming up with some standards, like I mean, it's a whole big stack, right, of services, software,
Yeah.
government
Yeah.
regulation.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
are you working
It's a
across that stack and what are you doing?
Yeah, I'm so right now the focus has mainly been in the research and like trying to figure out what is the best framework for this, because we're not just like trying to certify buildings in a better way, but we're trying to build a regenerative economy that gives value to the actions that you take, right? So we want to encourage more and more people to follow or pursue regenerative goals in projects. Yeah, so there's a bunch of things that have to like come in place for that to happen. One is obviously, the first part is the framework, the what of what we are measuring and how we are accounting for this impact. And the second is how. So that's where the tech platform comes in. It's helping you evaluate what makes sense and understand the trade-offs with different solutions, and yeah, in a decentralized way, kind of verify claims that projects make. So it's not like a centralized entity where you have a bunch of people taking documents and like looking through that and like approving that your project is sustainable. But it's a group of experts who have like specific skills, and they yeah, the data gets pushed to them to validate like some of the claims that projects are making. So yeah, it's like a gig economy plus a platform where yeah, a bunch of experts are weighing in with their expertise to validate the claims that a project makes. And yeah, tying all of that with crypto based incentives, where like all of that is accounted on the blockchain, and we can reward people with the blockchain, and yeah, get people to coordinate that way.
So that's really amazing. And you're going to build a platform for this,
Yeah. Yeah.
but currently you're doing the research and the planning. Is that correct?
Yeah. So right now we're just almost going to finalize the framework. And yeah, the next step is to actually build a quest. So I want to design a process how this framework gets used in actual projects, and you can involve the stakeholders, so it's going to be more fun instead of like the traditional way of, okay, you need to like get a bunch of these documents together and submit, and someone takes a look at it and like approves it, right? So instead of that, where I'm trying to like use AI and AI to like fetch some data, and you're like in a kind of a quest, you go on a sub quest, you work with a bunch of people and find some answers, and you come back. And yeah, so I'm trying to gamify
Interesting.
this whole thing. Yeah.
The thought that I just had now, what if there could be one part of it that involved children?
Okay.
That could be,
uh,
I had in my mind an image of a village, right? Or of a project and with people living there. And if you could get the kids involved in the biodiversity or other measurement on other things,
yes.
I
Yeah.
think that would be really amazing. Also, there's lots of things like go out and see how many butterflies you can find, things like this,
Yeah.
which kids enjoy
Exactly.
anyways, right?
Yeah.
Much more than
Yeah.
adults. And also including them in the process. When you said like make it fun, I was like immediately I thought, can we get kids involved? That could be really
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, there's already quite a bit of tools that help you do this. One of my friend, he's part of Atlantis, and he's building an app where it's a bounty app, uh, and you can make create bounties there for like different kinds of measurements. So if it's a biodiversity, or yeah, you need to you can think of it like a Pokemon Go, right? You go around and you find a bunch of yeah, insects or plants or whatever, and yeah, there's a task for you. You can take up that task, you can finish the task, and then you get rewarded for doing that. So yeah, there's already infra out there for that. Yeah, I'll just have to tap into those, or yeah, see what's needed for my particular use case. And yeah, as much as possible, I would want to use the tools that are existing out there. And yeah, I think that's where coherence really comes to use, because yeah, I may not be aware of a lot of things that people are working on. For example, in the last call we had open co-op, which I was like completely unaware of before yesterday's call. So yeah, it's a great way to discover projects and yeah, what people are working. And yeah, it's just better to not duplicate work, right? So
Yeah, definitely. Also, I mean, for me, my hope, because I'm originally a technologist, right? I spent 10 years as a software developer and 20 years shepherding projects and startups in software space. And as a developer, I come from the Unix days, things should all interconnect. So I wonder if we can encourage people more to build basic protocols, which then different apps can all interface to, right? So
mm,
then there can be into the same impact measurement, there can be the app for children and the app for scientists, and they're completely different and they have different views, but
yeah,
they both can contribute to the same project. That would be beautiful.
yeah.
Great. So, connecting with that, what kind of projects are you planning to invite to Coherence 2025?
Mm. Yeah, I actually made a list of projects that I want to invite. Yeah, a few of them on top of my head I can think of. Open Civics. If you've heard of Open Civics, they're working on a bunch of protocols, knowledge bases, and like trying to get civic organizations, or like yeah, have more civic engagement in decision making. And yeah, yeah, they're working on a bunch of cool things. So yeah, I want to invite them for a interview. And yeah, there's a bunch of people actually. Another one is tools for the commons. If you know Hugo Matikovic, maybe I'm yeah, butchering is the second name, but yeah, they are also for civilization scale. So they were part of this Prospera, this pop-up city,
Right.
Vitalia, if you've heard of it.
Of
It's
course.
so they're working on a bunch of governance tools. how can you tinker with the governance processes, and how can you help projects that want to that want to be at the frontier of tech innovation in terms of biotech or blockchain, AI. How do you create the regulatory framework for people projects to thrive with a better system? So yeah, I think those would be like the two biggest ones. But obviously, Let's Grow DAO, I want to invite my team, because I think we do a pretty cool job of coordinating a bunch of people to do radio every once in 3 months. And yeah, maybe another friend, Atlantis, who's building this bounty app, right? Yeah, I mean, there's like a list I've made which has 10 people or 10 or 12 projects right now. So yeah, all very much aligned, and yeah, doing a bunch of cool things.
Amazing. Yeah, looking forward to getting the conversations flowing. Uh, so you discussed RegenBuild, but I don't think you explained Let's Grow DAO, right?
Yeah.
Can you yeah, tell us about Let's Grow
Um, Yeah. So Let's Grow DAO is a DAO. It's actually a DAO. It's a one person, one vote DAO, which needs 51% voting power to pass financial proposals, and then we have a Grow token, which rewards you for the contributions you make to the DAO. So it's like our internal, community currency of sorts, which gives you a reputation. And yeah, there is some reputation based voting as well when it comes to non-financial decisions. But yeah, the mission of Let's Grow DAO is to essentially unite and grow the region refi movement. And yeah, it just so happens that what we're good at is hosting online events. So we uh, bring a bunch of people together, mainly projects who are looking to raise funds, uh, grant funds during Gitcoin rounds. That's how we started it. So uh, yeah, we run a 24/7. It started as a radio where we have hosts, rotating every 1 hour. And some seasons we had 48 hosts, so we could only allocate like 30 minutes each of hosting time. And yeah, so there are people that join from all over the world, from Australia to South America. And we have, yeah, people, hosts can design their own show. So whether they want to like just talk to their community, educate them, they want to bring guests, or they just want to play music, or yeah, they want to have intellectual conversations. Yeah, it's up to them. So they can bring their own community, which is maybe local to them, because in their time zone, uh, it's easier for their community to come online and yeah, just engage with your project. So yeah, we've done like 5 editions of that until now, and the next one is going to be in April, starting in April first week. But we've also done a few offline events. At ECC Brussels, we did an event where we, brought a bunch of investors and projects looking to fundraise. And yeah, we educated the investors about what is refi, and gave them a bit of a context of where the space is and what kind of projects we are seeing in the ecosystem. And yeah, also had a bunch of projects curated for them to pitch to these investors, who were projects that were ready to raise some seed money. And yeah, this was Brussels. We organized this investor and project meeting, and then we also had a party to just finish off the whole week. So it was, I think, the first region themed party in ECC, major ECC conference. So yeah, that was really awesome. And of course, we also had at Gathering of Tribes, we had our own camp. So yeah, those are two things, but we've also done a bunch of like smaller side events in East Denver, and yeah, I think that's it. Like, yeah, just three events so far. So our strategy has been, let's piggyback on, these bigger events, and yeah, do some region oriented programming around those events. And yeah, those are the two main things we've been doing. And then there's also like the occasional education and onboarding program we do for people to come from web 2 to web 3. Yeah, there's like we work with Gitcoin, we work with like other program managers on like different kinds of initiatives. So whether it's marketing, we did a climate joke race with Climate Coordination Network, where we had a meme contest about climate change, and it was a fun project. So yeah, we do a bunch of these one-off events also. So
Yeah, that's really
yeah,
cool.
maybe we have potential to do more, more things and different kinds of things. But yeah, running a DAO is not easy, and it takes a lot of coordination.
Yeah. This year, by the way, the gathering is happening in Czechia, Czech Republic, and end of last week of August, and in Mexico in November. So I hope you can organize camps at those. That would be nice.
I'm thinking of gathering India at some point.
Yes,
Maybe.
let's start.
Yeah.
Maybe we can talk about that after we finish this recording. So just to finish this recording, do you have any questions for me or any thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a exciting time right now. There's a lot of convergence in terms of like the different technologies that are coming up, and yeah, it's a great period of, I don't know, transition. And I think the next 2-3 years is going to be the key, because yeah, AI is like rapidly advancing, and the climate is not getting any better. And I think blockchains are just like maturing at the right time. And yeah, generally I think people are becoming more conscious, and they want to take things into their own hands. So yeah, it's just great for people to discover what's out there, and like what are people working on, and what can be adapted into their own projects, etc., etc. Right? So yeah, this whole connection, and I think we need to like think as a hive, and move as a hive. So yeah, it's I think I'm really excited for Coherence, because yeah, I don't see an effort that's trying to do this, and I think it's much needed. So yeah, thanks for making this happen.
Great. Yeah, let's do it.